Right?
Yeah, I 100% agree. But that Mitch Marner shit that came out, Siraj Mystic Siraj.
Well, I don't know much about Mitch Marner anymore. Right? I thought they was under the bed.
I didn't. I just saw that it came out that they were trying to trade him for Ratnan.
Yeah, but then he declined.
He declined. He said, "I ain't leaving. I ain't going nowhere."
He has no move clause, right?
Yeah, he has no trade clause. He said, "I'm not leaving. I'm staying here. I'm gonna get what I'm worth."
I'm leaving here with something. You know what I mean? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
Like, why would you, if you're trying, like, why would you make that trade? You're not improving or anything.
I don't know either.
Aspect.
I think if you're in my sense, you're actually becoming worse. And then because you saw that game after that news came out that they were offering to trade him, he scored 2 goals in that game afterwards. Yeah. And then people I've been seeing on Twitter this guy's just getting roasted on Twitter.
Mitch,
oh, this coward, this piece of shit.
Hometown fans, he's not a hometown guy, is he?
I guess not. I guess people they don't love him like that because they were shitting on him. He played the best game. He played a great game against Colorado. They lost that game, right? But it wasn't his fault. He did his part. He got 2 goals. And I'm pretty sure he got an assist. And it's not like he's like, where's Matthews on this? Where's all
he's the only one who shows up in the playoffs too.
Yeah.
Him and Nylander.
Yeah, him and Nylander. And then Tavares is even showing up. And the other two, where are the other two at?
I think that could have been just like a thinly veiled threat by the Toronto management. Like, hey, we have a number. Hey, we can ship you to Carolina, but or anywhere else, right? But then, like you're saying, this man's got no moves. Like, all right, go try it if you want, but I'm not gonna move.
Yeah,
this.
but why? You're making all these moves to make your team better, right? They made good moves.
Mm-hmm.
Carlo. And they got Scott Langen. Scott Lawden, whatever his name is.
Robert Lang right there.
Yeah. But what's it called? They got those 2 guys. And then on top of that, you're like, hey, you're just going to let it loose that you guys were trying to trade Mitch Marner?
Yeah.
Why would you?
It's been quiet all year long around his whole contract, and all of a sudden, bang, we have this huge, where we were trying to trade his ass.
Yeah.
After the trade deadline, too.
I don't know how that leaks after all this time of no contract talks leaking or anything like that. And now, I mean, they've been keeping it quiet, right? So they're not really, I guess they're not close.
Wait, how much did Ratnan, what's the deal Ratnan do?
He signed for
12 for 8?
12 for 8, yeah.
I think so.
90 million.
96.
96 million.
What do you think Marner gets now?
Marner has to get 13 at least.
Yeah. 35?
At least 13 is the minimum.
So maybe that's why they wanted to trade him.
Maybe, but
just so we can get a cheaper
contract.
Well, that's what we talked about last time, Jason. We were like, I think what's happening with Toronto and Marner and why an extension hasn't happened already is they had different value.
Markets, yeah.
Marner's probably closer to 14, and they probably want to pay him closer to 11. But the way this is playing out, and the more Mitch Marner keeps proving himself, he's getting 13 million, right?
Yeah.
And that's from Toronto, I think. If he hits open market, wouldn't Columbus or one of those teams pay 14?
Yeah, 15. 14 would probably be the most. So I pay for him because of Draisaitl, right? Because Draisaitl's getting 14. But I don't think Marner can score like Draisaitl. I don't know if any other teams would be like, yo, we're going to pay you 14. I think 13.5 would be the number. That free agency.
13, but he probably wants 13.5. Probably that's probably his number anyways.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, I think Sartaj maybe Jyoti wasn't here for this, but Sartaj mentioned it. I think it might be it might end up being a lose-lose situation for Toronto in the sense because say he does walk, right? Someone's gonna pay him 13.5, right? And you don't want to pay him that. And say the opposite happens, he kills it in the playoffs. You magically make this run. Let's say you go to the Eastern Conference Finals, and he plays well. Now you gotta pay him, right? Because he just proved to you that he went to these conference. It's a lose for you. Because even if he shits the bed and he leaves that free agency, someone else is paying him.
That's the lose for Toronto. They have to retain him, right?
Yeah, they have to retain him.
How can they recoup that production any other way? And Matthews is 3-4 years left on his contract
I think so.
Yeah,
that would probably be something that he's not really messing with either, right? That signals that Matthews is probably going to want to leave.
Because then if Matthews is gone, if Marner's gone, Matthews he's the sole focus now. And now who are they going to take the anger on? Nylander and Matthews, the guys that missed half the games of all time.
I think the thing about the Toronto fans and the media and the relationship with Mitch Marner is that Mitch Marner's always valued himself here, an upper echelon, top tier player, right?
Yeah.
And he's I want that money too.
Yeah.
I want to be paid accordingly, a big contract. And if they're probably thinking you're a hometown guy. We want you to take a discount. You're not that good. We haven't really gone that far in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But as time has progressed, he's just making more of a case for himself that he is going to get that money.
Yeah.
Because this is a bona fide point per game guy, and it's been like that for 6-7 years now.
And even when Matthews is out, he's the one who carries the team.
Yeah,
100%.
I think it all comes down to the playoff performance now, because that's where everybody always shits on him. His regular season, everybody's like, nobody cares about that anymore. They got to the point where you don't show up at the playoffs, so we're gonna just shit on you no matter what, right? Because even last year, he's I don't know how many points he put up, but I think the market in general, the fans especially, are just yo, he's too soft in the playoffs. if he can't step up in the playoffs, then they're gonna be like, yo, just get rid of him. Right? The fans are gonna be like that. Who knows what the team's thinking too, right?
Well, let me ask you this, Mr. Charge. If, let's say, they get into a first-round series, 7 games, he gets like 4 points, they lose the series, so he doesn't play that well, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that would impact his value, A, in Toronto, and B, with the rest of the league, the open market?
I don't think it changes value for the rest of the market, but it will change his value in Toronto. Because like let's just say they have a first round bounce again, right? But he plays like you said, they go to 7-game series, but he gets 7 points, 7 points, 7 games. He's impactful, right? So are you really gonna be like, oh well, we didn't get past the first round and be like it's your fault, or are you just gonna be like it just turns into a mess because then now you're relying now that he played well in the playoffs, it wasn't his fault.
And if you're like one of those non-playoff teams, you're obviously looking to get to the playoffs. This guy's a regular season performer. He'll get you the playoffs then, right?
Yeah.
Like if he'll boost your team in some way. So obviously somebody's gonna pony up a good amount of money for him.
But in that case, if you're Toronto, if you let him walk, you can actually use that cap space to get goaltending, defense, work around the edges of your forwards. So it could help for them as well.
I don't know, man. I think the players like that, they really are far and few between.
I think you pay him if you're Toronto because the cap's going up too. Tavares' money's coming off the books.
Yeah.
You might as well pay him.
Are they re-signing him?
I mean, but they're not going to sign 11 mil. He's probably going to get like 4 or 5.
Come on, he's getting 10.
He's back.
Amulet alone gets him 10.
Like Razak, if he has a good playoff series and let's say they lose hypothetically, I think Toronto would retain him in that regard.
Yeah.
But I agree, Sartaj. I think if he has like a 4-point series or something, then that could signal that Toronto would say, you know what, 8 years of this experiment, it hasn't really gone well. We're not going to pay you max money because clearly changes are necessary. In which case, Columbus, Minnesota,
Buffalo.
a lot of teams, man.
Even
right
Utah, like they're right
on
the cusp of the playoff spot right now.
There's a bunch of teams.
For sure.
Why not? Might as well get Pettersson as well.
Calgary
would.
14.
Yeah, 100% Calgary would put up the money.
That would expedite their retool. Or
Winnipeg dead time. Winnipeg will pay you 16. Just come through, please. We need you.
Please! Now!
He's not going to win.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're willing to play the market. They'll pay $20 million. Just come to Winnipeg.
What about Carolina? I wonder if they'll people love playing in Carolina.
Well, no, Robert Dormer said that he has 4 teams and Carolina's not on the list. So what can he do? Oh my God.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.